Well, Kavanaugh accuser Christine Blasey Ford says she's open to testifying only if her requests are met and after the date set for her hearing. Should lawmakers cave to these conditions, or are Democrats using her to pull the wool over our eyes while they trample a confirmation process? Here to debate it is the former GOP chair in Nevada, Amy Tarkanian, and Democratic strategist Robin Bureau. Thank you both for being here this morning. Amy, I want to start with you. So it looked like a very straightforward confirmation process. Then came this, calls for testifying. What should happen next in this process?
Well, I believe that it's important to hear both sides. And if this accuser is actually willing to speak, then we need to hear from her. But I don't like the fact that she's changing her mind so often on what she would actually like to do. And then she goes back and says she needs to go and have further discussion with her attorney. And it seems that this is going around and around in circles. And now it actually does seem like it's being politicized, which is unfortunate, because then that minimizes actual people who have been victimized and sexually assaulted. I think that at this point, if her requests are going to be met, then we do need to hear from her. But we need to move forward and make sure that we approve Judge Kavanaugh.
You know, Robin, the president and other Republicans have said we want her to be heard. That's an important part of this process. But would you acknowledge that once she is heard and that a confirmation vote, if it's a he said, she said situation, how does it change anything?
Ooh, that's a tough one, Pete, and that's really going to be up to the Senate Republicans and the rest of the Senate
Democrats
to decide
have already decided they're against him no matter what. Right?
Yeah, well, I like Amy said, I really hate that this is being politicized. But you know, Monday was an arbitrary date that they set, so as long as her other requests are met, I really think that it's important that we do hear from her. She's a working mother, and she's had death threats, and she's just concerned about her security detail. So I think that if we can accommodate that, I think that's a perfectly reasonable request. It's not unusual for her to just say, hey, Monday doesn't work for me. Can we do another day next week? I don't think there's anything wrong with that personally.
Well, Amy, here are Robin mentioned the requests. Here they are that Christine Blasey Ford has. She said only members of the committee can question her, not lawyers. Kavanaugh cannot be in the room, and Kavanaugh has to be questioned before her. So, Amy, well, how does Kavanaugh get a chance to defend himself if he's testifying and she brings new allegations or new things? Her going second means she has the last word.
That's a really good question, because that really does then play into the he said, she said. So how does he get to have a fair say in all of this? This is something that happened so long ago that she herself doesn't even remember where it took place, when it took place, who exactly was all there. It seems very, very fishy to me. But, you know, if it comes to the point where we just need to listen to her side, whether if it's public or private, fine. Let's hear from her. And then we can hear then from Judge Kavanaugh and move on. It's time to move on. It's time to go ahead and approve Judge Kavanaugh.
Robin, would you at least acknowledge that there's a bit of a double standard here with Democrats number 2, Keith Ellison, facing verifiable recent charges of sexual assault, and yet 36 years ago is what's being talked about. Do you think it should be applied consistently?
Oh, most definitely. I think that this is a very convenient look. This is just not good. Keith Ellison, there's evidence there. She's provided medical records.
Should he drop out of the race then? Should he drop out of the race?
Yeah, I don't know about dropping out of the race, but I think that he should step down. And I've already talked with the DNC. They've got a procedure in place, and Jamie Harrison would be my pick to step in and fill his shoes. He's deputy director right now. Well, sorry, associate director.
Amy and Robin, thank you very much for your time this morning. A debate that's certainly going to continue.